Hello, students, and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Armstrong Teaches. I am Mr. Armstrong. It's been a while, but I'm excited to be back. Today is a little bit of a divergence from my normal topics. I usually focus on English grammar, and other English concepts like story. But today I want to talk about something else near and dear to my heart. Play. I think play is very important in the learning process and just being alive and being a human in general, honestly. Play is life. And so I wanted to take some time to educate about the properties and benefits of play. Let's not waste any more time. First of all, what is play? I've done some research on this and I've found lots of different definitions. Lots of different people have their own interpretations of what play is. I can tell you that as an educator, I have seen firsthand the power of play, just how effective it can be as a learning tool. But as a juggler, as an improv comedian, as a clown, I have also delighted in play for my own sake, for fun. Just for the heck of it. And I can tell you 100% that I am way more miserable of a human being when I don't play. So, what is play? I've done some research and found lots of different definitions on the internet. I've asked around people I know. Everyone has a slightly different definition of what play is. Let's look at some of the properties of play. Let's look at the different ways that it can be categorized. I think it'll help us to understand it a little bit. One of the issues with play is that it kind of has a bad rap. That word has a bad rap in our society. Quit playing around. It's dismissed. It's not something that's held with any kind of importance. It's usually something that we think of as reserved for children and something that, as we get older, we should do away with. But I 100% fundamentally disagree with that. And I'm going to get to why in just a few moments. But first, once again, what is play? Let's look at some of the properties of play. I have found several different lists about the properties of play, about what is play on the internet. The one I'm going to go by, I got from this book right here, Play by Stuart Brown with Christopher Vaughan. It's an excellent book. It talks all about the science of play. It talks all about how important play is to nature, to humanity, to being alive. I highly recommend this book. It's actually hard to learn and study play without Stuart Brown being mentioned in some context. So, the properties of play. First of all, apparently purposeless. Play is play if it's done just for the heck of it. If there is a purpose to your play, it feels less like play. It starts to be more like a chore or more like work. It has to be voluntary. It has to be something that you choose to do. If you don't choose to do it, if you don't want to be doing it, you can't get to that done for fun thing. It has to be something that you choose. It has some sort of inherent attraction, which just means you like it, it's fun for you, it's something that you're interested in doing. But then once you enter that play state, you receive the benefit of freedom from time. It connects you to the present moment and allows you to feel free from all of your worries. A lot of times people refer to this as a flow state. I think of it more as a play state. You also have a diminished consciousness of yourself, which just means that you don't worry what other people think about you. You dismiss that people think you look smart or stupid or happy or sad. You don't care about that because you're so locked into the moment. You're having such a good time, it doesn't matter. One of my favorite properties of play is the improvisational potential. This is where new things are discovered, new ways of thinking, new connections between ideas that you never saw before just because you loosened yourself up. You allowed yourself to enter this state, to be in the present, and the possibilities are endless. And finally, continuation desire. And that just means that you want to keep doing it. You want to do it again and again. You don't want to stop doing it. When it's over, you're like, wait, what? The time is it's already, what? A few of these things, of course, are related to other things, but they are all specific and have their own merits. And maybe there's a few other properties of play. If you can think of anything that you think characterizes the nature of play, go ahead and drop some of those in the comments. I love learning about this stuff. I would love to hear what you have to say about that. So this is kind of what play is. Now, and I've kind of danced around this a little bit already, talking about some of the benefits and explaining these different properties. But let's examine the benefits of play a little more closely. There's lots of scientific research done on this. I am not a scientist doing research on that. I have done a lot of reading about it. And once again, a lot of this information has come from the book Play by Stuart Brown. If play was just fun, that would probably be enough, but it doesn't stop there. Some of the benefits of play are connection, creativity, cognitive enrichment. You can relieve stress, and health and fitness. You can prolong your longevity when you play. Connection, let's start there. You can develop relationships with play. In fact, that's probably why we play. It is believed that play actually predates language, which means it's been a part of us since the beginning. It helps us feel safe with other people. It helps us test boundaries with other people. It helps us form relationships, which of course leads to community. It leads to a sense of cooperation between people. And human beings cannot exist without one another. We are social creatures. Play helps us connect with each other. It also helps us connect to nature. It helps us connect to animals. I play with my dog every morning. Connection is huge. It's one of the most important things in this life. And play helps us get there. Creativity. Now this one's probably a no-brainer. When we play, we are creative. Play can include the arts. It can include painting, knitting, music, anything. But you can also express your creativity at work, on the job. You have a problem to solve. You have to think about it creatively to come up with a solution. Or at home, you have to look at things differently sometimes to be able to make the most out of a situation. And play can help practice that skill, improve your creativity, and feel more confident about your creativity. Every single one of us is a creative being. We all have the capacity to be creative. There's no such thing as a human being who is not creative. Play helps us remember that. It helps us to practice that. Cognitive enrichment. Now, this is one of the ones where there are lots of scientific studies about this. I do not feel qualified to dive into the science. There are lots of different books out there. I'll put a link to the play book that I've already referenced in the notes below, maybe a few other titles that I really enjoy. But the studies show that play improves the way that your brain functions. It stimulates your mind, like we talked about with creativity, but it also lights your brain up in ways that other things just can't. It helps us to make connections in our brain that lead to things that we couldn't find, we couldn't get, we couldn't achieve without it. And play, of course, also relieves stress. Play is fun. Fun helps us relieve stress. So many human beings are so worried about the future, preparing for the future, preparing for crisis. Or we dwell in the past. We live with our mistakes and we hash them over in our heads over and over again. It's so hard to be present. But anyone who meditates, anyone who practices yoga or studies Buddhism can tell you that being present is where happiness lies. And play helps us be present. It helps us live in the moment. That play can also help us to heal emotional wounds. Play can invite trust into our lives so much easier because of the connections that it can build. We can find joy through play. And then finally, health and fitness. Now this might depend on the type of play that you're doing. Some play is obviously way more active than other play. But I can tell you that getting exercise is a lot easier when it's fun. And so some people, for example, instead of doing workouts, do a play out. Have some fun with your workout. Find something that you enjoy doing that also gets your heart rate pumping. Find something that moves your body in ways that you wouldn't normally move it. It's good for you. Motion is lotion. It helps to prolong longevity. And you might find that it also, of course, helps to relieve stress. There's plenty of studies that say that exercise relieves stress also. All of these things kind of reinforce each other. There are probably other benefits to play. These are the main ones. I think a lot of the other benefits could probably be crammed into these categories a little bit. But these are the big ones that certainly apply to my life and that I think can help so many people that I know. And that's all for now. This has been the properties and benefits of play. This is probably the first of a series of videos I would like to make about the topic of play. It's something that is so important. Once again, as an educator, I use it all the time in the classroom. I still regularly hang out and juggle with friends, which is a very playful activity. I do improvisational theater, improv comedy. I love to play make-believe with my friends. It is so good for me, and I can tell you that anytime I'm feeling bad, anytime I'm feeling like things just aren't working out for me, it usually comes back to the fact that I haven't been playing enough lately. I haven't been having enough fun. I haven't experienced joy. I haven't connected with other people. I need play. We all do. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, put them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Play.